Hi everyone, this is Sam here with Cosplay, and today I would like to talk to you about the Cosplay Pros. The Cosplay Pros are an Arizona-based cosplay material company, and I am currently sponsored by them. Over the past few months, they've provided me with some materials that I would like to discuss with you today, so let's get started. Okay, one of my favorite products from the Cosplay Pros that I have used this far, which might seem kind of unusual because it's a difficult product, is their high density EVA foam. Now this is a 600 millimeter EVA foam. It is almost as thick as half of my head. But it's incredibly useful, and I used it most recently in making my foam sword for Fuho Oji, which I happen to have right here. Let me acquire it as I bump the table, and I'm sorry. But for Fuho Oji, she has this enormous sword. And as some of you may know who have followed me for a while, I have made Fu's sword a couple times now. I've had a friend help me make it, and at this point, I just wanted it not to be as tall. My former swords were either 6 foot or 6'3" tall, and I wanted something that maybe I could travel a little bit easier with. And this is it. This is what I can travel with. The foam is pretty thick. I didn't really alter its thickness much other than smoothing the sides out and rounding the edges. I did have to cut a slit down here and slide some basswood through. I'll show you here so that I could actually get the wood all the way in. And to hide that seam, I used Quick Seal, which is a silicone caulk that you use in plumbing. But this foam is incredibly durable. I can hold the sword without, I don't have anything in here. I have nothing. Like it flexes a little bit, which honestly I like better because I've had my handles break on my former swords a lot. And this is, I can swing it, I can use it, I can hit my table with it, but nothing happens. So I really, really like their high density EVA foam, and I highly recommend it. Oh, on my sword, there was another product too. Well, the byproduct of a product. The Cosplay Pros provided me with some of their candy molds, which are what made these amazing big gems. So I have several really large gems on here that were created using their candy mold. So the silicone candy mold and clear cast resin, awesome. Another product that I've greatly enjoyed from this company, the Cosplay Pros, is their foam clay. Foam clay is essentially EVA foam or some kind of like closed cell foam that's been treated to become sculptable. So you can move it with your hands, you can mold it, you can shape it, you can do a lot of stuff with it. And if you check out my Instructable on Fuho Oji, you'll see how it's used. Let me pause for a second and show you my mannequin where I used the foam clay. Give me one moment. And here's how I used my foam clay. It's a booby plate, and it keeps its shape pretty well. I sculpted it on the ground, and then I formed it onto this shirt when I had a pair of breast forms inside of it so that it would keep curved. And I let it dry on my dress form for, I believe, 48 hours. And then I painted it with Plasti-Dip and used markers and oil-based, well, Sharpies and oil-based markers to create shading on it. It's still a little squishy, which means it's flexible, so it shouldn't break. And it's really, really, really lightweight. Another thing the Cosplay Pros provided me, I can speak sometimes, I swear, would be that wig up there, which I'm going to take down in a minute and show you. But they gave me some of their 2mm and 4mm EVA foam, and I made a foam wig out of it. So let's go take a look at This is Maya. This is the back of the wig. I attached it to a modified balaclava. I have a zipper attached to it so I can slide it over my head and zip it tighter to my head, because the problem with foam wigs is they're very lightweight and they just fly off in the wind. So I used the 2mm foam to create kind of this nice layered textured foam in the back. And then I have 4mm pieces right underneath here. Let me focus. I have 4mm pieces underneath to stabilize the cap and the initial structure of the hair so that it wouldn't move around too much. Now, finally, the last item that I've been using, or I'm about to use, and I'm going to have a little tutorial for you guys, hopefully this weekend or by early next week. I have to have it by early next week because I'm wearing it the weekend after. Are the foam scales that they have. These are probably the cleanest foam scales I've seen. So this is one shape. This is another shape. And this is the large shape. So you can see the different sizes here. They have really, really clean edges. They're pretty flexible. They're essentially the consistency of craft foam, which I believe is 2mm foam. And they're great. And I'm very excited to use them. And I'm very excited to share my tutorial with all of you on how to use them. I highly recommend them. The other product that we'll hide this in here. The other product that I've used from the Cosplay Pros is Plasti-Dip. If you're unfamiliar with Plasti-Dip, it is a rubberized spray sealant and it smooths foam out. And let's go through the list of products that I've used from the Cosplay Pros. They're 600mm high density EVA foam. Great for weapons and props that you want to remain supported, but maybe you don't want to use some really heavy dowels inside of them. Their foam clay sets in 24 to 48 hours, can be used to create just about anything. Then there is their silicone gem molds, which are great for resin. Their EVA foam up there, 2mm, 4mm foam. Honestly, I love it. As long as you heat seal it, it's great. And finally, their foam scales, which I'm about to use, and I'll have a mini tutorial for you guys within the next week. So, Cosplay Pros, The Cosplay Pros, www.thecosplaypros.com, and they're based out of Arizona, and I love them, so check them out. Bye guys, Sam here from Thermo Cosplay. Thanks for watching.